Send those boys back up I-79 with a loss. West Virginia wins the backyard brawl. We got you covered right here on Mountaineer Moment. This is the Mountaineer Moment, your source for all things West Virginia football and basketball. From pregame to postgame coverage and breaking news, we've got you covered. Let's go. Let's go, man. We are fired up here on Mountaineer Moment, episode number 87, fresh off of a West Virginia victory in the backyard brawl by a final score of 71-49. Mountaineers get the 22-point win over Pitt in the brawl on the hardwood in Morgantown, Hope Coliseum. Ross Hodge, this new look squad, get the job done. That's the best they've looked all year, and it couldn't have come at a better time. Mountaineers improved to 4-0 on the season, and we talked about it pregame. This was a measuring stick game of sorts because it's against another power conference opponent, not to mention your rival, not to mention your arch rival, not to mention it's Pitt. We hate Pitt. They don't like us. We don't like them. And you go out there and you control the game, start to finish. You hold Pitt to 49 points with incredible defensive effort, and you win by 22 points because several other pieces step up. It wasn't even the best shooting game we've ever had. It wasn't, it wasn't even some names you would have expected. We had a 10-point first half from DJ Thomas, which we're going to talk about. We had Harlan Obioha have 19 points. By the way, leading the team in minutes played for the 7-footer. You want to talk about his conditioning that he's been getting into. It's paying off. He played 31 minutes in this one, 6 boards, 2 assists, 2 blocks. He was huge, figuratively and literally, in this game. 71-49, it goes final. And it is a sweet day for Mountaineer fans as you get this win over Pitt in this fashion. So on this episode right here, number 87 of Mountaineer Moment, we're going to talk about just some other details. We're not even close to throwing it all at you. Some other things in this immediate reaction after the game goes final. We're going to talk about this defense and what they've done and what they've proven, what they showcased in this game that we think can go on down the road moving forward. And then we are going to talk about that performance from Harlan Obioha later on in this episode. But if you are new to Mountaineer Moment, this is your source for all things West Virginia football and basketball. It is basketball season here on Mountaineer Moment. We've got several episodes coming out every single week, almost an episode a day at this rate. This is a podcast, a show that started just at the beginning of football season, and we're 87 episodes into this thing, so you do the math, and we're plugging away real hard, getting after it, and super thankful for this growing community. So I will say, if you are new to this community and you haven't yet subscribed, hit that subscribe button for us. Whatever platform, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, we're on all of them. And we would love for you to join this growing community because this is special, and we're super excited to do this. I'm super pumped for literally anybody. Like, if you're following me and you're watching these videos, like, thank you, because I mean it. And this is just, I work full time. I have another job, and this is just something I'm doing for fun. But it's becoming less of a hobby, if you can say it that way. I like to do this, and I like the product. I think what we're putting forward is good. I like for it to be high quality, and for you guys to think it is too. So thank you for listening, watching, wherever you're at. And subscribe, please, and leave a comment. Love interacting with the folks. If you're going to take the time to comment on one of my videos that I post about the Mountaineers, I'm going to do my best to get back to you too. So I appreciate the love. I appreciate the support and this growing community, man. Episode number 87, and we're not stopping anytime soon. So all that, little promo commercial, and we're going to jump in here. So West Virginia beats Pitt in the brawl, and it feels good. You win in football and that comeback victory. You win in basketball, and you send them home packing. And it just feels good, but it feels even better to do it in the way that you did. This was not like it was never a doubt. Like, Pitt went on a little run in the second half to cut it to 10, and you're like, oh boy, they're going on a little run here. But then West Virginia extended that lead right back out and obviously finished with a 22-point margin. But we'll go over some of those things in the box score for you here, through this performance that West Virginia had. So, again, Harlan Obioha had 19 points, 8 of 9 from the floor, knocked down 3 out of 4 free throws, 6 boards, 2 assists in 31 minutes. Honor Huff had 15 points, just 2 of 10 shooting for him, but he got to the line a lot. Some technical free throws because Pitt was mad and salty and all that. 5 boards for Honor Huff, 5'10 guard. You like seeing that in 28 minutes. He had a little bit of foul trouble too. Had 3 fouls, 2 in the first half, one relatively early, I think, in the second half. Jasper Floyd, loved what you saw from him tonight. 4 of 8 from the field, 13 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 steals, and he was just really, really good at knowing what needs to be done, knowing what this team needs. We saw it in the opener. Ross Hodge said it post-game after the Mount St. Mary's performance where he had 25. It was like, okay, yeah, he's capable of that. He's not like, he wasn't a prolific scorer for us at North Texas, but like he knows what the team needs and he goes and gets that done. And I think tonight against Pitt, Jasper Floyd knew what the team needed and he went and got it done. And he was very, very good on both ends of the floor tonight. Belo, quiet performance from him, relatively quiet. He was active, obviously, on defense, 3 blocks, 2 steals. It's funny that I'm saying quiet, but, it just wasn't the 20-plus point performance he just had. 6 points, 3 boards for him in 25 minutes. Again, you needed everything he gives you, and you're going to need it every single game. He's so good, so talented. 6 points, 3 boards again, a couple steals and 3 blocks. One was very impressive. Trayson Eaglestaff to round out the starting lineup. Had just 3 points, 1 of 6 tonight in 26 minutes. A couple turnovers, a rebound, and an assist. And he just hasn't looked comfortable yet. And we talked about it. And I think it just stems out from him used to being the guy at North Dakota, the guy. I think I've mentioned it on a couple episodes. If you look at like their team numbers from a season ago, Trayson Eaglestaff had, I think it was like over 100. It could even be more. Over 100 more shot attempts than the second closest person on the team. He was the guy. He was the ISO man. He was the guy who you get the ball when you need a bucket. And he's still capable of scoring the basketball. We know that, but it just comes in a different way. In Morgantown, with the depth that this team has and the other scoring threats that this team has. So I think he's just having a hard time adjusting. I have no doubt that he's going to figure it out and be a really, really big part of this team. There are people saying that, even more so today that I've seen than I had, the previous games, that Chance Moore, when he gets back, he's going to, eat away at Eaglestaff's minutes. And, yeah, Chance Moore's going to get minutes, and we don't know exactly where they're going to come from, but Eaglestaff will probably lose some. But hopefully that'll help him to say, okay, if I want to be a contributor on this team, I got to start knocking down shots. I got to start getting comfortable. There was a few shots he took today early in the shot clock, which you're encouraged by because he's being told to shoot that. And soon they're going to fall. I fully believe that. So not a great showing from Eaglestaff. But again, Honor Huff, 2 for 10. So, I think preseason, you think about this. Like, if you'd have told me preseason West Virginia's going to win, if you'd have told me preseason Trayson Eaglestaff's going to go 1 for 6 from the floor, Honor Huff's going to go 2 for 10 from the floor, they're going to combine to go 3 for 12 from three-point land, are you going to think you're going to win the backyard brawl? Probably not. Probably not. You wouldn't like those chances if that's the only things you were given. Well, West Virginia did win with those numbers from those two, and they won the game by 22 points. So, to me, and it's not like it was an ugly win. West Virginia was incredible defensively. Offensively, Harlan Obioha was incredible. Jasper Floyd did his thing. DJ Thomas, who we're going to get to, wasn't ugly, but like it was an ugly shooting night from your three-point shooters. You made 7 out of 24 from downtown, 16 of 21 from the free throw line, which is excellent. We'll take that compared to where we've been, at other points this season. But man, my point is you beat Pitt by 22 points, and you're quite literally, you're banking on some more from Trayson Eaglestaff. You're banking on some more efficient shooting nights from Honor Huff coming down the lane, right? Like he's gonna figure it out too, and start knocking down 7 threes a game, right? Like he's gonna have nights like that. Watch out, right? Because if we get the defensive effort paired with that, this is good. This is good. Again, it's not like I'm sitting here saying, overreaction. West Virginia's going to the Final Four. Like West Virginia's going to the Sweet 16. Like I'm not saying that, but this was a bit of a measuring stick against a power conference opponent. Yeah, it's Pitt, and it's even sweeter, and we're even more pumped up about it because you won in the fashion that you did. But you got to be encouraged. This was a game where it's like, all right, let's see where we're at. Right? Let the chips fall where they may. Let's see what kind of team we got against Pitt. And I think you figured some things out tonight. I think you figured that this team's only going to grow in confidence. This is the best they've looked. Prior to that, it was the half they put together against Lehigh in that first half. But overall, single game, this is the best they've looked. And this was, probably the stiffest of competition they'll face. Because Pitt, they're going to win some games in the ACC. I can promise you that. They got some great returners, and they got some guys in the portal that are going to help them have success this year. But you beat them by 22 and held them to under 50 points. We'll take that every day of the week. So very encouraging stuff in that regard. Now, for the second piece that we'll get into, we are going to talk about this defense because, to me, it just feels so good to have West Virginia basketball play some defense. I mean, we haven't seen a performance like that since Bob Huggins, right? Like 49 points the last time out against Lehigh, albeit, but they got 47 points in that game. You hold Pitt to a 25-point half and a 24-point half. This defense is awesome, and they just looked unified tonight. There was only, from the 8-minute mark in the first half till, I don't know, there was 14 or 15 to go, and Pitt started to score a little bit. They had like 6 points or something crazy, right? They just couldn't score for a significant stretch. Then they were missing shots, but teams are going to miss shots, and you got in their face and made it difficult for them and turned them over, and West Virginia only turned it over 6 times, and you forced 12 of them. And 12 is not the most they're going to have this season. They'll probably have more than 12 in Big 12 play. But this defense looked like they played together. They gang rebounded, right? No one had over 6 rebounds, and that was Obioha. Thomas had 5. Jasper Floyd had 5. Honor Huff had 5. You out-rebounded Pitt 34-31, which is encouraging because that was one point we've addressed already about the rebounding. So I think as a collective unit, the defense was just there, and you made it difficult for Pitt. And it just feels good for Mountaineer teams to play like that. And it's not a surprise because that was to be expected. That's Ross Hodge. That's his DNA. He's a great defensive mastermind as a coach. So I get it. And it's to be expected in that regard. You want Ross Hodge expects his teams to play like that, 100%. But it just feels good to watch. It just feels good to see it come to life here in mid-November against your rivals. So, man, shout out to the defense. Shout out to Coach Ross Hodge and getting these boys together. And, again, it's just an encouraging sign. It's a welcoming sign to see what this team is doing and to see improvement. Because we could have left this game against Pitt, and let's say we won, but we won by 1 point. Or even if you lost, like you could notice some improvements on the team maybe. I tell you, like from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, they're playing together. There's unity. They've improved schematically. Like it just fits and it's working, and that's the way it should be. You should get better. Monday night, they're gonna have a chance against Lafayette to get better, to take that next step before they head to Charleston for a matchup with Clemson, which is going to be a test. There's no doubt about it. That's going to be a test. So you just like it. You just like what you see. You just like the fact that you came out and beat Pitt by 22, and defense was a major factor in that, period. All right, last but certainly not least, pun very much intended with that one, we got to talk about the big fella. We got to talk about Harlan Obioha and his performance overall. And just some things you notice through his game against Pitt in this one, because without him, this game isn't a 22-point win for West Virginia. Without Obioha and what he did, again, real quick, 19 points, 8 of 9 from the field, 3 of 4 from the free throw line, 6 boards, 2 assists, and 2 blocks, just 1 turnover for the big fella too. He got great positioning. That's what stands out on the offensive end. He just got in great position to get easy buckets, right? 8 of 9. Dunks, layups, got in position. There were a couple beautiful passes that his teammates had for him. They were finding him, which is essential for the 7-footer to get involved. You got to find that big fella in the right spots, and he was getting to the spots, and they were finding him. Really, really great execution on the offensive end of the floor. And then obviously defense, he was a presence under the basket, as he always is, because of his size. But there were a few times he was matched up with some guards or some smaller guys and did all right. He did all right. And you're just encouraged by this game that he had, because that's a season high in points, a season high in minutes, a season high in shot attempts. A season high in blocks with just 2, but he had 1 in other games. But and it's kind of funny because I was expecting first 3 games, smaller teams, Obioha is going to dominate, and we didn't see that. Certainly not for whole games. He had 12 points against Campbell and Lehigh, 8 boards, 6 boards, respectively, in those games. But his previous high in minutes was 24. He played 31 in minutes tonight, and I think that might be the most overlooked part of this whole equation, is that guy gave you 31 minutes. You talk about the conditioning, you talk about the fact that he got in shape. Well, he showed it, and he showed it in a major way against Pitt in the backyard brawl. 31 minutes played, led the team. Knocked down all of his shots almost, right? So just super encouraging to see him do that against a team like Pitt. And if that's something like, I'm not saying we're going to have him go 8 of 9 every game for 19 points and get some rebounds and some block shots and play 31 minutes. I'm not saying that's going to play out every single game in the Big 12. But to know that he can do that, to know that you can draw up some stuff for him and get him in the right spot, get him in the low post, allow him to have success offensively, just does wonders for this team. Because especially when you consider those other guys are going to start knocking down shots, and if Obioha is the presence that he's been, stays out of foul trouble, stays on the floor, and he can pass, as Ross Hodges said, we haven't seen a ton of it yet, obviously, but there you see the potential there for him to be a really, really great passer out of the low block. It's just encouraging. That's a welcome sign. So Harlan Obioha, incredible in this one. And then I said that was the last thing, but I lied to you, obviously. DJ Thomas, 10 points finished with. He had all 10 in the first half. He's a player. 2 of 5 from three-point land in his 23 minutes, 5 boards, 2 assists. The freshman is a very, very welcome sign, very pleasant surprise, if you can say it that way, here in the early going. Now, the only person I feel bad for in this equation is Ross Hodge. How he's got to figure this thing out when Jackson Fields and Chance Moore come back, and how to spread out these minutes well. Mentioned Eagle staff maybe seeing a dip in his, but DJ Thomas, I think, I talked about it over with Mountaineer Paul on Locked On. Like, DJ Thomas proved to me and probably to you that he deserves a spot on the floor too. So you got to figure out minutes for him. You got to find him. Limited minutes to go around, but you got to find DJ Thomas his minutes because of what he's done in the early season, and get the freshman some confidence. He's been the best freshman. Amir Jenkins, freshman too, didn't read his numbers, but a couple points, a couple rebounds, 1 assist in his 12 minutes. But in 12 minutes, again, he's buying you some time, and he's more than a guy that's going to buy time this year. I think he's going to be good and going to contribute to this team. But him taking those minutes allowed Jasper and Honor Huff to play 29 and 28 minutes, apiece. So, no turnovers from Amir, took care of the ball, and 1 of 4, but he's going to start making some shots too. He plays with confidence, and he's really good. So, let's go Mountaineers, man. This is episode number 87, Mountaineer Moment. Still plugging away at this thing, and super thrilled that you would choose to be here. I'm going to again point you to that subscribe button, please, and hit that thing. Let's continue to grow this Mountaineer Moment community. I'm super thrilled with every piece of encouragement and support and love that I've received from everybody in the comment section and email and on X and wherever. Super, super appreciative of that. Please hear my heart in that. I'm super thrilled with this growing community and expect for it to continue to grow. But that's a wrap for episode number 87. Pitt just lost to West Virginia. They're heading back I-79 with a loss in hand, their first of the season. West Virginia improves to 4-0, 71-49 the final, and we will see you next time here on Mountaineer Moment.